Okay, there we go.
All right.
Hi.
Hey.
So we're talking to. Tell us who you are first of all.
My name is Massa Fofana, and I am an all-around artist. I do fashion designing, I do interiors, and I paint. I do art.
What made you? That's right. And this is
And
her.
this is my granddaughter, Madison. This is one of them, Madison. She's 7 months.
So what brought you to like becoming an artist? Like what made you decide that was your life?
I was maybe about 5, 6 years old, and I always drew. And then high school. What really wanted me to be an artist is when I was a kid. During the summertime, my mom used to clean houses before she became a nurse. And going through the subway, I would see Keith Haring when he was still, like, you know, infamous. He wasn't even famous then. And I would see him drawing on the blank billboards. And then when I went to Greenwich Village for the first time because of my brother, my older brother, that's where he always bought his sneakers and everything. And when he first took me to Greenwich Village and I see all these artists and they're on the street, I was like, man, this is what I want to do.
About what time was that? Like,
man, that was 1980, because I have some age on me. I would say 1985, 86.
so that's like around the time of like Basquiat and the whole downtown kids scene.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I would see all their artwork, and even like when going around Greenwich Village a lot, when I used to like sneak and tell my mom, no, I'm going to my friend's house around the corner, and we would head out to Greenwich Village. We would see all of them out there. So it was, and us being into art and rock music. We went to CBGBs. We snuck into CBGBs. Like, God, it was like 15 at the time. And we would see like all these amazing rock artists, and then like when I was finally allowed to really go out, I started going to the Limelight. Wasn't at the age to go to Limelight and the Tunnel, but since my friend Howie, who I was in high school with, he knew all the bouncers and everything. That's where we just went, and they let us in. Got my first screwdriver, danced in the cage for the first time, house music, wearing pajamas and Doc Martens and a big backpack, and it was like the whole rave thing. But before it was even called that, we was just club kids. So through all my phases in my life, whether it was being the little black punk rock kid in my hood, or the house music person or whatever, it was like I was always into art and fashion, and how your imagination can just go further than just the corners of your mind. It's pushing boundaries and saying something, and I always felt that, as an artist, I didn't understand it then, but it was like anything we wanted to feel, we didn't really talk it much, but you can definitely see it in our artwork, which got me in a lot of trouble in high school with my art teachers. She did not like my penis pictures at all. She did not like my drag queen paintings. She always had an issue with me, but she ended up getting me recommended to go to Parsons, and I didn't have to take an SAT. Couldn't afford it afterwards because that joint is expensive, but she got me into Parsons. And before that, I went to FIT during the summertime, and to study fashion, and a lot of it I studied on my own as a teenager because classes were boring, so I cut classes and went straight to the library and went straight into the art department of my library and studied more about art. So by the time I got into college the first time around, I was already like knowledgeable on art and art history, and you know, being in museums and all that great stuff already. So I was already prepared.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, how do you like keep? I don't know. All right, so you know that frustration you get. You like sometimes where it's like, oh, why do I do this? Like, why am I doing this? You know, how do you get through those like those blocks? Like,
I never exactly went through that. Crazy enough to say. I always felt like it's just in my DNA. You know? It's like I don't know how to do anything good but art, being an artist. I know how to express myself. That's it, artistically. And I never I don't know, I've just never been to that point where I'm like, God, why am I doing this? Because I just kind of felt like it was just as natural as breathing to me. So it was just like I tell everybody, I'm like, you know, art's one of those things that you do and you are, you know? And it's just in you. It's just in your DNA. It's just...
is that why you focus like a lot of your arts is very Afrocentric?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's reflective of all the things about me that are stereotypical and non-stereotypical, you know? And I grew up in Vanderveer Projects. Well, now it's called Flatbush Gardens now. But grew up in Vanderveer Projects, and I was one out of maybe a handful of kids that was, you know, the way I am, or the village girl, or whatever, because I didn't dress like everyone, and I went to the museums all the time, and I went to the street fairs, and I went to just wherever, Limelight. So when everyone, so when everyone wanted to venture outside what was going on, you know, I was always like the go-to person. They wouldn't speak to me at any other time, but that time they were like, "Hey, I want to know like what's in fashion. Can you show me? Can you show me what's this museum about? I'm trying to impress a girl, or can you tell me about this? Can you tell me about the new music?" And even down to the guys that were DJing, they're trying to get into production. They were like, "Yo, I need music." You know, so I was always like that one go-to person in the hood. I guess every hood has a couple of those, I guess. So that was just me. I just kind of figured like, you know, you're just born to do that, you know?
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
What advice would you pass on to like future generations of like people trying to be artists? Like, you know, if your granddaughter comes to you, she's like, I want to paint for the rest of my life. Like, what would you tell her?
Do it. Just to do it. Don't give up. Don't get frustrated. Don't worry about, like, yeah, we got to worry about the money. We need the money, but you use it as a tool and not as a means just to get money. Like, you know, when you use your God-given talents and you're just, you know, it's like it's in you. It's your duty as part, you know, being in the universe to just do just that. And the money is going to come. That's your purpose. So even if you're doing crappy jobs and whatever, like still stick with it, you know? It's going to make you happy for the rest of your life. Like I'm happy, you know? Like I don't mind doing dumb jobs and freelancing here and there and not getting enough money, but it's something that's just so gratifying, whether you make a dollar or not, about showing people your work and people just really appreciating and feeling something, you know, just getting that response, you know, is just transmitting energy, you know. So I would tell her, go ahead and do it. Don't give up. If you know what you want to do, just go hard, you know. Go
Cool.
hard or go to trade school. Either or.
Thank you.